This deck is very nice. Hey guys, I actually have two different comps revolving around Cornelius Roame to show you today. I think both of these comps are viable due to different matchups being favorable. We have essentially a standard nature base with a Cornelius instead of Samuro, and Cairne having the increased Earthstomp item instead of reincarnation. The first deck is a nature-based Cornelius comp, working with Malfurion and Bruka. We have a standard Cairne Diablo cookie in the back, with one noticeable change being Thunderous Sash on Cairne. Cornelius does an excellent job of defending Malfurion and Bruka, while they scale up your team's nature damage and tempo. The Holy Cornelius comp has become fairly meta already, after seeing how efficient Cornelius is at fending for Velen to scale up holy power, as well as health on Anduin. We also run Cairne Diablo cookie in the backline of this comp, simply seeing how strong these mercs work together. I wanted to show you guys an orcs or demon comp, but I tried them out, and it really wasn't up to the standards of the meta. I don't want to give you guys guides to comps that I don't think are actually going to be top tier, even if they may be fun and unique. Unless that's something you want to see. In that case, I'd probably start creating some off-meta comp guides for those of you who want to prioritize running fun synergies over becoming a top PvP player. Just let me know in the comments. Alright, I'm going to show you guys a game with each of these comps. I will be facing a Malfurion Anduin Mukla comp with the Nature variant and a Nature Samuro comp with the Holy variant. Enjoy.
Alright, so in this first game, I actually open up with Cookie instead of Cornelius. Usually I would open with Cornelius, but I saw that he had 3 protectors in his team, so I wanted to get those casters out there as soon as possible. Alright, so here we're going to be going against the Malfurion Anduin Mukla opener. He is running a Sylvanas in the backline, unfortunately, so not exactly meta, but I think this game was pretty decent nonetheless, so let's take a look at it. What we're going to want to do here is just throw everything at Malfurion. I'm sure he's going to do the same. We just want to get those off the board as soon as possible. Stop that constant healing from going off, as well as the nature speed. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to see both of us throw everything we have at Malfurion, trying to get that off the board. Alright, so our Malfurion ends off a little bit lower health, but I think this is okay. I think both Malfurions are going to go down turn 2 regardless. We do have a pretty important 50-50 here. Cookie is guaranteed to go off first at 0 speed. I didn't think he was going to be casting a nature ability on Mukla, which does make this a 50-50 whether we kill their Malfurion before he's able to Wrath or not. Alright, so we see the 0 speed from Cookie. As you can see, his Malfurion was at 13 health, so if our Wrath would have fired off first here, he wouldn't have been able to get his off. And we would have been able to send our Lightning Bolt at a different target. But it's okay, it's not really a game changer by any means. So yeah, both our Malfurions go down here. We're going to end up dropping the Cornelius. Alright, so we are going to end up throwing down our Cornelius here. We want to try and keep this Bruka cookie for alive as long as possible. We want to just keep that Lightning Bolt scaling into the later game. He does opt to bring out the Velen, which is double effectiveness against our Cornelius, but we really just want to help our Bruka cookie survive for a couple turns, get that nature scaling, get those death blows in. What I end up doing this turn is just taking down Mukla as low as possible to set up that death blow on the following turn. And just healing up with Cornelius. Alright, so yeah, we send everything at Mukla. He does end up sending Anduin at Cornelius. I like this play because it's guaranteed super effectiveness and you're going to have to kill him regardless. He's not going to let any of your other units die before himself, so it's always smart to target your casters onto Cornelius. Because you're basically damaging the other units because he has the ability to defend them. So yeah, what I end up doing is going for the death blow on Mukla here. I think this was a misplay. I think what I was supposed to do is death blow Mukla's big brother. because he doesn't have any way to kill off his own King Mukla the next turn, so it just guarantees another death blow going into the following turn. So I think that was a slight misplay here. I should have death blowed Mukla's big brother instead of Mukla himself. The reason you see me going for Muddy Footing here is because I want to slow the Anduin. His next Holy Spell is going to be doubled, so I want to make sure that that spell is Splitting Light instead of Holy Nova to try and deter some of that damage away. Yeah, get the death blow on Mukla, slow down that Anduin. Yeah, so we see the doubled Splitting Light come in here instead of the Holy Nova, which is a little bit less damage. It was definitely beneficial for us to go for the Muddy Footing. Alright, so we go for Cairne here. He does have double caster on board, but the reasoning is that as long as he's not targeting Bruka or Cookie, we're in a pretty good spot. We have that extra damage coming in from the Earth Stomp item. He does bring down his Sylvanas, but this Earth Stomp's going to do so much damage that I think we kill this Sylvanas before it's even able to use Reclaim Souls. Alright, so yeah, we're just going to send everything we got at Sylvanas. Yeah, Earth Stomp doing 48 damage, that's insane. Go ahead and kill that Sylvanas. It's only going to deal 20 damage to casters and 10 to Cairne with that Death Rattle. Much better than him getting off a Reclaim Souls Death Rattle. Alright, so we see the opponent bring down Cookie. We're in a pretty good spot from here. He's at 2 mercs. We're at essentially 3. Cairne's still on board, but it's basically just a free death blow for him, so. So I was thinking about Muddy Footing this Cookie at first, because I know he's going to go for the death blow, so the next turn he would be slowed. I end up opting for a Lightning Bolt because my game plan here is trying to stall out the game long enough to get off a second Chain Lightning. Alright, so I end up going for the Muddy Footing on Cookie here and the Death Charge on the Anduin. I think I should have targeted opposite mercs with these abilities, because with the Bruka Muddy Footing, the Cookie, he is going to be able to use the bleed effect after the Muddy Footing, so it didn't actually work out too well for us. I did want to try and set up the Fire Stomp this turn. I actually had a much better play, though, that I missed in the moment. What I should have done is thrown... our Chain Lightning is doing a total of 50 damage to each unit here, so I should have thrown the Cookie Fish Feast at the opponent's Cookie, and then if I actually used Apocalypse and then Chain Lightning on Anduin, it would have dealt a total of 100 damage. So I was actually able to end the game on the spot here with that Apocalypse Chain Lightning combo. So a bit of a misplay there, but we definitely had already won the game at this point, so yeah. Alright, so in this game we are going to be playing the Cornelius Holy Comp. We're going to be going up against the Nature Samuro comp. So a very meta comp. Yeah, we'll see how this matchup goes. What we're going to want to do turn 1 is, like usual, just target down this Malfurion as much as possible. We do have that double casters, which is pretty good at dealing with Malfurion. And then we have the Cornelius to protect those casters from Samuro, so it works out pretty well with the typing effectiveness. Alright, so we just go ahead and go for that turn 1 taunt, stop the Samuro from killing a caster on turn 1, and just throw everything else we have at this Malfurion. Yeah, he does throw the Lightning Bolt at the Cornelius. I think this is always correct. Alright, so we actually made a pretty big misplay this turn. What you usually want to do when people try to interrupt your Velen's Blessing Holy Nova combo, like he will try to do with Muddy Footing, is you want to go for Penance instead of Holy Nova, because you want to have Holy Nova off cooldown for that double cast. But what I didn't think about here was the fact that Cornelius has holy abilities as well. So it was really a huge misplay for me in this turn. Because what's going to end up happening is we're going to Velen's Blessing, and then I still have to go for a move on Cornelius to stop these casters from dying to Samuro. So we're actually going to double cast on Cornelius, pretty much invalidating our entire Velen's Blessing, unfortunately. Yeah, so I think what I should have done last turn is actually go for Splitting Light instead of Velen's Blessing, because we didn't really have a way to get around having our Cornelius cast the 2 holy abilities if we did decide to go for the Velen's Blessing. So yeah, as you're going to see here, we're going to get a pointless double cast off with Cornelius. Yeah, he is going to kill off our Anduin as well. This is unfortunate. It's not the best position from here, but we do have the Cookie Death Blow. So maybe we can come back into this one. So yeah, we are going to try and go for a Cookie Death Blow here. He is going to stop it with the Muddy Footing, and then he's going to finish up Cookie with the Samuro. Even though this looks bad, it actually ends up very much in our favor. We go for the Velen's Blessing here to set up for the next turn, as well as that Earth Stomp dealing extra damage with our item. And here you're going to see we're just going to be able to clear up his board with that Earth Stomp speed manipulation, as well as the double cast coming in from Velen. So it's actually not the worst spot for us going ahead. We have that additional Holy Power on Velen going into a 3 versus 3 backline after we clean up these mercs here. Alright, so yeah, we just go for Endurance Aura, Fire Stomp, and then the double Holy Blast will clean up this Bruka, and then we're into a 3 versus 3 backline. Our Diablo does have that 114 health from the additional units dying, as well as Velen having that Holy Power going into the last turns here. So I think we are a bit favored going into this. Especially having I think Velen is better than Cookie in this in these last turns here. Alright, so we go for another Blessing, set up that double cast next turn. We basically mirror each other's moves. When you have a Cairne and Diablo on the board, you almost always want to go for a Dune charge onto the opponent's Cairne to try and set up your combo as well. But seeing that we both go for the Death Charge on the Diablos, we don't really have potential for the Fire Stomp combos being as big as we'd like them to. Alright, so we do end up deciding to go for Fire Stomp here. I know his Cairne is going to be slower than that, so we're guaranteed to at least get 2 pumps off. He does have the Fish in combo with his Fire Stomp, which is pretty beneficial for him. I did think the Diablo was going to go down this turn. I didn't really calculate a Fish coming in that would supply him extra health. So a bit of a misplay there, but it turns out alright. Go in for our Earth Stomp, the Holy Blast. Alright, so this turn we end up going for the 50-50 with the Endurance Aura. Our Cairne is pretty much dead no matter what. So the only thing he can try and do is get off that 50-50. I think even if we lose it, we do win from this position because he doesn't have Earth Stomp available. And we're guaranteed going to kill the Diablo this turn. And then our Velen is just going to continue healing our mercs. So I don't think he has a way out of this, even if he were to win this 50-50 with the Endurance Auras. Alright, so we see the Cookie go off at 2 speed. We do win the 50-50 with Endurance Aura here, but like I said, I don't think he would have won regardless. I think all he would have done with that play, if he would have won, is kill our Cairne. And then Velen would have still finished off his Diablo, and we would have been in a pretty good spot from there in the 2v2.
Peace.